Just wanted to say as a basic preface to a series of videos I just put on that I addressed as my problem from January 19th, 2010. Look, I'm a little bit fumbly mumbly trying to initially, present myself. I'm not too soft and passive about the issue that it took a lot for me to push out, to bring it to surface, to talk about it, to bring it to the public forum. There's a few interested people in my immediate, where I live, and that I might come in contact with, that, if I see them, I gotta have the sense that, I'm probably gonna have a fight, like a standoff kind of a. I got, it's about respect. I understand that, and I think that's pretty much why I'm kind of soft about my approach, trying to talk and mumble my way into whatever it is I'm doing with these video journal entries. This is January 20th. This is the next evening. It's about 1:30 in the morning. And I basically wanted to say that it's a lot harder than it appears for me to present myself the way I'm presenting myself. And at the same time, there's a lot of deeper feelings. I'm not violent. I have never been violent about these issues, but they are underlining motivations that I have been discussing in different forums and counselings with different people about over the years, that this has been occurring. I live with these issues. I don't want to be an alcoholic, addictive personality who, is more self-defeating than I could afford to be at this time of my life with my son, alone in the world as we seem to be, outside of social service care systems, that I can afford to waste more time doubting who the hell I am, in some corner of an empty room someplace because nobody wants to know me, and I don't value myself enough to go pursue a life a little more actively, with more vigor, and be more productive. As far as mentioning relationships and being hard with words that I've used in blogs on MySpace and other forums online, listen, not for nothing, but I can't keep spinning my wheels and not addressing who it pertains to directly anywhere in my life, in any area. So I choose to become more civil, catch myself before I actually do cross some kind of line of code of ethic, with the way I'm using the internet or reading, and or monster movies, or any kind of distortion, any horror, or vulgarity, or I'm starting to turn a little bit. I realize when I start looking for a sense of not a gratification, but a sense of intensity, it's not necessarily a good thing. There's probably an underlying root thing going on that I'm trying to drag out, bring to surface before I go looking for, similarly to like going to get high, in some capacity, and you chase that dragon attitude, the intensity, even a sugar rush, caffeine rush, to the degree you go chasing, that kind of comparison. I happen to be working out pretty good with swimming. I happen to be physically fit right now, more so getting there. It's an uphill battle after, kind of being half laid up from the last year I went to physical therapy for my legs, and I finally got medical lifts for my shoes and things, for fallen arches and leg injuries that I got almost 20 years ago in the Army. So the long story short is that, I don't care. I look a little bit more like, like elfin hobbit kind of guy, a little bit, slouchy, a little bit, soft, and a little bit mumbly. But the fact is that I have strong feelings and passion about what the hell I'm saying here. It's out of respect that I try to keep myself from like being like a belligerent, loud, angry, who the hell do I think I am kind of guy. But I'm not the same little boy that I used to be when this shit was going down at the first place, and I allowed it to happen at the time over those years with the people, whoever I'm talking about, whatever incident I'm talking about. Um, the video journal, My Problems, that I put on this evening, uh, talking about the band I was in and all the, you know, I don't want a goddamn thing from them other than a public acknowledgement that I A, existed, B, I was on the record, and C, maybe they were sorry for fucking me over. Alright? Because, not for nothing, they proclaim themselves to be professional musicians. And they seem to have an active up and coming career, and I never got a ticket, you know what I mean? I always liked them, but I never liked what happened about it, the way I just got, like, shut out. As far as my family and everything, I got to confront my own inferiority complex regarding my stepfather and the way I've been bullied around, even with their band and things. It was all bullshit. My role in that family, it was stepson at best in the band. That's my position on it. And it wasn't like I was an equal member ever. I never was told I was in the band. I was just palling around, I was a scumbag for not working. They made me feel like a piece of shit the whole time while I was with them. It wasn't like there was mutual respect and everything. It wasn't quite, it was not all fun and games. A lot of times, one of them wouldn't show up at the studio at the same time because they had to go out with their girlfriend. This is the years that they were just getting married and things, meeting their girls that they got married to eventually. And, here I am standing there. I was just getting divorced from, I went through a divorce very painfully. I lived with a priest. I thought I wanted to die half the time. But I wasn't, who the hell knows? I'm not going to be able to judge who I am from other people's perception of me. That's their position. But I know I showed up. I used to hang around and show up. I wasn't looking to sit on my hands around them and be, inactive. I was always there to, to nail the track. And I wasn't just a studio drummer, but that seems to be the only thing that I could have been with them. There were a lot of reasons why it didn't work out, apparently, Oh, but there was a lot of years involved. There really was. 96 to about 2000, 2001. I could easily recall recording with them. And I got some cassette to back up what I'm saying. But that's not important. What's important is the hard-nosed approach that they took to not want to deal with me, ever. Even in a polite way. A polite way. Especially after my son was born, which is what I consider the big time clock of when it was a clean slate. Because from that point on, I really put my nose to the grindstone about being a man and stepping up to the plate to take care of responsibilities and the care and the welfare and the love of that infant. I had concerns about him. I went after him. Take care of him. And they never saw it, I lost everybody personally known to me at that time, those years, somehow, because I went after my son as a priority. Alright, so long story short, I'm bitching, I moan. I'm talking to myself at 1:30 in the morning. It's January 20th. This is like a preface to the 3 chapters of part 1, part 2, part 3, January 19th, video journal entries of My Problem, Austin Emil Centolella. Salute.